Hey, this is Al Walsh with Access Real Estate. I'm here with Shaulita Francis from the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. Shaulita, tell us about your organization.
Yes, so the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute is a center of healing, teaching, and learning for families impacted by murder, grief, and loss. We like to think of ourselves as a homicide response center. A part of that is that we work with families 24 to 72 hours immediately after a homicide. They help them with how to contact the media, to write a media statement, what is the best option for burial, like what funeral home to use, and try to really find a way so that they can lay their loved ones with dignity and compassion despite the circumstances of their death. But not only are we a homicide response center, we're so much more. Like, we also work with the families after they've laid their loved one down. We work with them with something called Peace Play, which is a therapeutic activity to make sense of the trauma that they're experiencing. We do counseling with them as well, and we also have support groups such as Healing and Recovery, Brothers on the Mend, and Stars and Stripes for young women.
What is the Peace Institute's mission?
Our mission is to serve families on both sides of homicide with dignity and compassion. Whatever support that they need in the aftermath of a homicide, we're there to help them, to connect them, Like, we can't do everything, right? We can't connect them with housing, but we're here to point them into the right direction. After something like this happens, a family feels like they have lost control. So how do we help them regain control? How do we help them make sense of this chaos that is going on in their life and be able to move forward? The world keeps going when something crazy like this happens, but how do we allow them to keep moving forward? Not allow them, how do we help them to keep moving forward? And another part of our mission is creating peace, and peace can only be created when people heal. Without healing, there's no peace.
You actually said you help families on both sides, so that's like the victim and the other side, like as far as...
Yeah.
Wow.
So the families that has...
Which is important.
Yeah, and both families are impacted. Both
For sure.
families have their loved ones taken from them, and
Yes.
some, whether it be by the system and whether it be by, by the hands of,
Yeah, for sure.
murder and stuff like that. And
Wow.
I think it's important.
No, that's really important work.
If we want true peace to happen, we have to work together.
How can people get involved and help the Peace Institute?
Yeah, I know that we have a lot of volunteers, from people who help with our books, from people who help with sending out donation acknowledgements, for people who help put in donations and stuff. There's just always different ways that there's needs, and I don't have any exact way, but if you come to the Peace Institute and be like, I'm looking to help out, where can I fit?
Yeah.
We'll always have something for you.
Awesome. And then also too, you have yoga and other meditation. So are those volunteers as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so people are giving freely and helping the healing process.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's awesome. What is one thing you'd like to see for the Dorchester community?
In essence, I want to see peace in Dorchester. I want to see our community coming together. There's so many changes happening right now. We spoke about this before the interview. And it's how do we come as one, you know what I mean? Regardless of the changes,
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, is peace. And as big as this may sound, or as, for some unattainable, that is where my heart's at, and I want to see people come together and the community come together.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Mother's Day Walk for Peace?
The Mother's Day Walk for Peace is one of our biggest fundraisers. Our fundraising goal each year is $400,000.
Wow.
And so we ask community members, we ask survivors, we ask allies to come out and support us and raise money to help us do the work that we are doing. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of money to do the critical services that we're doing and the work that we're doing.
Is there anything more you want to talk about when it comes to the Peace Institute?
Another thing we're trying to do at the Peace Institute is take this movement nationally. Before the Peace Institute started, Boston did not have a coordinated homicide response. They did not know how to deal with families who were impacted. And it was through the work of the Peace Institute, through partnership with the city, through partnership with the medical communities, law enforcement, and schools, that we were able to come together and say, okay, create, in a sense, a protocol to work with families effectively and equitable. So we like to say effectively and equitable when we talk about responding to homicide. And so Boston is being recognized for its innovative approach to working with survivors of homicide. And we don't want this to just stay in Boston. You know, I think the country needs to also be aware of this and also implement this type of work in their own cities. And so we're not looking to implement or plant different peace institutes in different states, but we're looking to share our knowledge to the rest of the country. Like, this is how we're doing it in Boston. Let's help you, you know, create something like that in your own community. And we're looking to work specifically with survivors, not like we train, like recently we trained the Miami Police Department, and we talked to some clergy and police leaders in Kentucky. But we're looking to work specifically with survivors, because one thing that's unique about this organization that it is survivor-led, and I think that's just so critical when working with people impacted. You know, like you can identify, you can meet them where they're at, you can validate, like, hey, it's okay to be where you're at.
Thank you so much, Shaulita, today for taking the time out for this interview. And if you want more information about the Peace Institute, visit their website.